Hey everyone, this is Stephen and this is day 16 of the FlowXO Video Advent Calendar Spectacular. We've entered the weekend on a high at FlowXO with some huge feature releases going live in the last few days and some great press around them. Uptake so far has been huge too. The new templates feature makes it really easy to get going right away with FlowXO. We're going to be looking at one of those templates in more detail today so you can see how easy it is to get a functional bot launched in seconds. First, as always, let's get onto my desktop and take a look at a bot that's been brought to my attention. So here's the Plus.ai bot. It gets a mention today because of its simplicity of function. It's well designed and doesn't leave the user wondering where to go next. They're given a list of things they can do and a set of buttons to achieve any of the bot's intended outcomes. So it's that simple execution that's its strength. It's a bot like this that's going to become the de facto bot for marketing news. I think the spaces being created in the transition from web to bot are still to be filled, and it's definitely a simple bot like this that just works that's going to help fill that space. There is a promise of AI here too. There's some learning about the user's preference, so I think that's probably more machine learning than AI, but it seems to work for this bot, so that's great. Okay, so on to taking a look at one of FlowXO's new templates. We're going to use the example business and its connected bot that we use every week in our weekly webcast. If you haven't seen one of FlowXO's live Getting Started webcasts, I highly encourage you to do so. They run every Wednesday at 3 PM UTC, and there'll be a link to sign up in the final slides of this video. So let's get into FlowXO and start to take a look at those. So over in FlowXO here, you can see, again, this is the typical setup that we have in our weekly webcast. And usually when we're building out a new flow, we'd hit new flow and then we'd always be taken to this option here, the blank flow, which gives us an option to completely configure a flow, a strand of conversation, all by ourselves. Instead now, when I've gone to new flow, I've got all of these options here, so it makes it really easy to put a pre-generated flow in place and get going. It makes sense here to use the welcome and help flow that we've previously constructed for you to install, because it's the first flow that we're going to encounter when we run this bot. So I'm just going to hit welcome and help here. And you can see as soon as I hit that, the new flow is put in place for me. It's named nicely and here it is already constructed. I do need to turn the workflow on. Let's just take a look at what's going to happen here then. First of all, we're looking for either an unrecognized phrase or the bot being started. Then in the code service here, I'm getting the user's first name or using a default. So I'm just going to parse out the user's name from what Facebook gives us or use the default. A friend. I'm then going to send a couple of messages. These are filtered, so they're only going to be shown on the first connection. So a couple of nice messages to welcome the user. Another filtered message that I'm going to send on the understanding that this is not the first time the person has visited the bot. So this is on the instance that we've received a phrase after the first connection that we don't understand. And finally, we're also then going to show the bots menu in every case, just so that we have buttons available to guide the user. So then over in bots, here's the mortgage bot. I can launch him completely fresh so that we know we'll get that new message on starting the bot. I'll hit messages. And clicking get started passes that start keyword. And the bot starts to talk to us based on that flow that we click to install, and there's the shortcut options that we gave. I'll then say something he won't understand. And straight away he can counter that. And so you can see here, if I go back into my FlowXO account, I pick up the flow again. You can see now how easy it is to edit these. Build another flow, perhaps about subscribing, and I can instantly give that option just by tailoring this flow slightly like this. Back in Messenger, and there's the option that I just customized. So it's that easy to install a flow, make a few small customizations to the flow that we've already built, launch the bot, and it's ready to go right away. So just a final shout out, we'll be adjusting our weekly webcast so that we take full advantage of those templates, and you can see exactly what's going on and how to use those to get up and running. You can see there, it's probably going to take you about a minute to put a great bot in place that's up and running right away based on being hosted at FlowXzone. Okay, great stuff. So we're back onto today's letter. We're closing in on the word or phrase now, I'm sure. Today's letter is E. We've got another vowel. E for echo is today's letter. Email me the Christmas related word or phrase that's made up of all the letters in these videos. Watch the others in this series for the full set. Email me the word or phrase once you've unscrambled the letters. Correct phrase, first person to email me wins the hoodie. Don't forget to hit subscribe to the FlowXzone channel too to keep up to date with all our latest releases and news. See you all soon.